It's time for the all-new Gurvey's Law, cross-examining the ages, with your host, Alan Gurvey, and introducing your co-host, Michelle Lobato. Alan is the managing partner of the law firm of Rowan, Gurvey & Wynn, a workers' compensation law firm which has represented injured workers for over 40 years. And now, here's your host, Alan Gurvey.
Hi, I am Alan Gurvey, and this is Gurvey's Law.
And I'm Michelle Lobato, and this is still Gurvey's Law.
That is. I can't believe it. I just flew in from Hawaii in the middle of the night, and here I am. I came in to do this show. We had a guest booked, and guess what happened, Michelle?
They divorced us.
They divorced us. I don't know what to say. He didn't show up.
No, life of a lawyer, though.
He had an emergency hearing, and here we are. No preparation, nothing to talk about.
We're going to be like rappers and just freestyle.
Is that what it is? Freestyle? Yeah. I'll tell you, I really did not want to do this today. I cringed. I got up. I was so tired. I got up in the middle of the night. Got home in the middle of the night. I don't even know what I'm talking about. This first time in like 14 years I've done this show. I'm in a bad mood. I didn't want to come in.
It's the first time you're in a bad mood on the show?
Yeah. No, I've had a few. When Kareem Abdul-Jabbar canceled, I was in a really bad mood, and I went on a rant. And we've had a few other people cancel, and I don't know why it triggers me. And sometimes it's not their fault. In Kareem's situation, I wasn't happy about what he did because we donated to his fund, and he never came on the show. But have you ever done something you didn't want to do?
Plenty of times, yeah.
Well, not that many times.
Yeah, plenty of times.
No, you don't. You are someone who, I shouldn't speak for you, but I know that the new generation, that's what I like to call you because that's what we're dealing with here, and you just don't do what you don't want to do.
I will say, as I've become an adult, I definitely voice when I don't want to do something, and I just don't do it.
Yeah, and do you think that's a good trait to have?
Sometimes, most of the times, yes.
Why?
Because you shouldn't have to do things you don't want to do.
I think that's total garbage. I think that
to
develops
an extent, right?
weak people, useless people, people who are afraid of adversity.
No. You're thinking of it wrong. What if you're thinking of it? Why don't you think of it like this? I don't want to. Let's say you want to be an entrepreneur. I don't want to work a 9 to 5 every single day, 5 days a week, 40 hours a week for the rest of my life. I don't want to do that. So I'm going to choose not to do that. And I'm going to, make my own path. That's not doing what you don't want to do.
You can't even say it. You're so confused. The fact of the matter is, I just came from this conference. I was one of the headline speakers for the conference in Hawaii. I spoke for 3 days there. And people came up to me and said, wow, you did such a great job. And how do you handle all these cases? You have all these noteworthy cases and you've done so well and everything. And you know what I want to say? I want to say I've done well. I've been successful. I was a featured speaker there because I did things I didn't want to do. That's how my career has been, doing things I didn't want to do. When I didn't want to get up in the middle of the night to go to court in Fresno or in Riverside, if I didn't want to stay up all night to finish a writ or to finish a petition, but I did. When I have other things going on, for the last, 14 years, I've had a family and so many things that I've had to do for my family and work, and I did them. So when people come up to me at these conferences and say, oh, Mr. Gurvey, I love listening to you. You're so passionate and you say so many incredible things. I start writing notes as soon as you start talking. I feel like saying, yeah, that's all because I've done things I didn't want to do, and now this is the result of it. So you can say all you want about, oh, well, if you don't want to do it, you probably shouldn't do it.
I'm not saying don't work hard. I believe working hard is very important.
It's not only working hard, it's doing things that, kind of turn your stomach or,
right.
Things that you just, going to a party when you don't know anyone and you really don't want to go, but you do it because a friend asked you to.
Right.
And it's so easy to say, no, I don't want to. You've spent the whole day, doing things, and then you have to get dressed and you don't want to do it.
Yeah. Like getting invited to a wedding in Canada when you got invited to Coachella, but it's one of your friend's wedding, and it's like, you got to be a good person.
Oh,
Go to
Canada
the wedding.
versus Coachella. And
Yeah.
what about work? Let's talk about this. You didn't even tell me you were missing work.
I did tell you.
No,
Yes,
you
I did.
didn't.
Yes, I did. We had an
When?
in-person conversation. I said, my friend's getting married in Canada, and you're like, whoa, and you gave me some points about Canada. And then I had emailed
What reality
you.
are you talking about?
We had a conversation that my friend was getting married in Canada.
You were dreaming that.
I was not
because if it
dreaming
would have been
that.
Canada, I would have talked about Canada being my
We did.
homeland.
We had a conversation about
I have
Canada.
no clue where in Canada
I
you
hated
were.
it, by the way. I did not like Vancouver. You know what? Next time I have to go to Whistler because the views, the nature aspect of like the Vancouver area that I was at was beautiful, stunning. But the city itself, oh my gosh. Hastings Street, oh my gosh, it's worse than downtown LA. It made my stomach turn.
Oh, so you had to do something you didn't want to do. You
right.
had to go
I was
to
a good friend, and I went to my friend's wedding instead of
in
Coachella.
Whistler, one of the most beautiful areas in the world.
It wasn't in Whistler. It was in Vancouver.
People think Vancouver is one of the most beautiful cities in
There
the
were
world.
parts of it that were beautiful.
You know, so how many people can just take off from work and go to a wedding in Vancouver?
I would have most people would be able to do that.
Really?
Yeah.
You can
For
call
a
in right
lifelong
now.
friend?
Do we still have that 800 number we used to use all the time? I want to hear people that call in and say, oh, yeah, I can just take off anytime I want.
You know, I'm a very privileged and blessed person, so I'm glad I was able to go.
Yeah, and you miss Coachella?
I'm going this weekend. I'm so excited.
Oh, wow. What a life you're living.
But I'm not missing work. I told them, I said, I can't go Friday, you guys. I missed work last week. I have a real job, you know. All these LA people don't have real jobs, but I do. And so I'm going only Saturday.
How do these people survive without real jobs?
Their parents' money.
So that's all you hang around with people who have parents'
no.
money?
I have friends that work very hard.
I'm not faulting you for that. I mean,
It sounds like you are.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying that there's so many people in this world that don't have the opportunity to just do what they want. And they have to, people work 2-3 jobs
Yeah.
just to make ends meet.
Yeah.
You know, when they have kids and they want to make sure that the kids have what they need. And,
Yeah.
you know, a lot of other people just take it for granted.
Yeah.
And that's why I think it's a good idea to do things that you don't want to do. And you know, I have to tell you, I grew up very differently than my kids are growing up. And, you know, you can see the difference. I think my kids are good kids, but I'll tell you, they do not do what I did as a kid. And when I wanted to make something of myself, it was hard. And my parents weren't involved. They weren't helicopter parents. They were doing their own thing. They were working, and I was figuring out ways.
I mean, I'm with you. I worked very hard as well. I bought my own car, my first car.
I thought it
worked
broke
very
down.
hard. It did break down, and now I have a new car. But I've been working hard, so I definitely feel you on that. I think it's just the surrounding area of like Beverly Hills, where there are Calabasas, where there are kids who are growing up a bit differently. Especially with social media. I don't know if you've heard of this new person called clavicular.
I think I've heard of it, just like I heard about the fact you were going to Canada for a wedding.
So not at all. Through an email?
What, you emailed me about the clav?
No, about Canada.
No. Anyway, tell me about your new hero.
No, it's not a hero. It's just this obsession with what they call looks maxing, meaning being able to devote a lot of time into upping how you look. And so it's called looks maxing, but you could also do like status maxing. So as a man, you know, upping your status, and every single person under the age of 21, I think, is like obsessed with this person because he just does live streams all day and just talks about that.
Tell me more.
Well, are you familiar with streamers? There are a lot of streamers out that are very popular right now.
Yeah, in birthday parties, we have streamers all the time. When I was on a cruise ship, we threw up streamers when we left the port.
No, streamers are people who have video on them 24/7, and people are just entertained and they become obsessed with them. They build a parasocial relationship with them.
This world sucks. I am telling you, it is doomed.
It's not all doomed. We went to space recently. That was amazing.
You
that
went
was
to
so
space?
inspiring.
You didn't tell me about that
we,
either.
as a country, went to space.
We.
Yes.
Do you remember that we've been to space before, or you don't remember
this time,
that?
Did you see that picture of the woman with her braids? And she took a picture and you could see her braids and then you could see Earth in the background. That was beautiful.
How does that impact your life?
I think it's inspiring. I'm looking forward for the future when we can have recreational space travel. Imagine instead of me telling you, hey, gotta miss work, I'm going to Canada, I say, hey, I gotta miss work, I'm going to the moon.
Not in your lifetime.
I think it absolutely in my lifetime.
Your lifetime, it's doomed.
No, that is not true. I don't accept that.
Your job is going to be replaced by AI.
Maybe. Then I'll just get married.
And what'll that do?
I don't know. That's up to my husband to decide. I'm kidding, by the way, for those who can't hear sarcasm.
I don't understand.
I don't think we're doomed. Not yet. I think maybe my kids will be doomed.
You're not married.
I will be.
When?
Hopefully next year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. It's tough now.
Why?
A lot of the men don't want to get married right now. I think also it's financially tough as well.
Maybe
it's a big privilege to have kids and to have a wedding and everything.
But meanwhile, everyone doesn't want to work, and they're going to Coachella, and they're going to wherever they can, and they're not working.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a connection
correlation.
There? You don't think there's a connection where people in the previous generations worked their butts off so that they could have a family and support a family and pass on good values? They didn't have the...
I think people are just fed up with now, even if you do work hard, it's not enough to have a regular middle class life, like being able to buy property and raise your kids, even when you are working hard and you have 2 people in the household working hard.
Do you have meaning in your life?
Absolutely, yeah.
What is it?
My relationships that I have with the close people to me, my relationship with God, my creativity, my optimism.
When did you have a relationship with God?
My whole life.
I've heard about a lot of your relationships.
I definitely have a strong relationship with God. Not a religious person yet, but...
What is that relationship? Like, is it back and forth? Like
Absolutely. I think God talks to me every single day through the universe. Is
it a he or a she?
Oh, that's a good question. I've always pictured it as he, just because I grew up Christian and Jesus Christ. So you picture a man. I don't know. That's a question mark for me. What about you?
I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about you right now.
Okay.
So how does this relationship work?
How does it work? To me right now, it's kind of like before it used to be like father-daughter relationship. Now it's more like friend relationship. Yeah.
So God's your friend.
Absolutely.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's good to have friends.
I think I'm one of God's favorites.
In high places.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You're one of God's favorites?
I think so. I'm highly blessed, highly favored.
Why?
I don't know why I'm a favorite. It's just lucky. Luck of the draw.
Wow. I don't think I'm one of the favorites. I think, yeah.
Don't say that. You have a lot to be grateful for.
Really?
You have a great life.
How do you know?
From what I hear.
You have no idea what people's lives are like.
Absolutely not. And yet here you are bashing on a whole generation when you don't know what their life is like.
Yeah, I mean, this past week we heard of the former lieutenant governor in Virginia who killed himself and his wife while his 2 teenage kids were in the home. He went to some of the finest schools, Duke and Columbia, successful lawyer.
Yeah.
We don't know what goes on in people's lives, and people just assume things, and they probably shouldn't, but they do.
Yeah. Agreed. 100%.
So when you look at someone, maybe you shouldn't just think, oh, they have the most amazing life. Maybe they do, but a lot of times so much stuff goes on in people's lives that we don't know about.
Yeah.
Either behind closed doors or things that they're dealing with. And it would be nice if we were a little more sympathetic. And, I think it also crosses into the world and what we know about the world. So many people are so outspoken about issues, and they really don't know. I mean, I was reading about the Harvard president being disappointed in the students at Harvard because he felt that a lot of them, whether it was the anti-Semitism or some of the issues in the Middle East, had no real knowledge or information or history, but they feel that it's their part to speak out and to be very outspoken on certain issues. Yet, a lot of times we don't know. I'm educated, but I'm the first to admit I can't speak on some of these issues.
Yeah, absolutely. Same here. A lot of the time people are just regurgitating what they hear online. They don't have like real true beliefs.
And some of them let them get out of control without even having any basis.
Yeah.
So, that's something that contributes to a real difficult world that we live in. And the more that it expands, I think the harder it's going to be for people to like each other. I mean, I hate people. What about you?
I do not hate people. I love people.
You do?
Yeah.
All of them?
Yeah. I think we have quite opposite views of how we see the world. Yeah.
Why is that?
Well, I see the best in people. Yeah. And I think something as silly as Coachella brings people together, like art, music, creativity. I know it's going to be all good vibes. I mean, of course, you'll have like your influencers and your people who are just there for the wrong reasons. But I would say for the most part, at concerts, people are there to unite and to be together.
Now, how many bands have you heard of that you're going to see?
Well, I'm going just on Saturday. So the main headliner is Justin Bieber. I have been a 12-year-old girl once before, so I am one of his biggest fans. I think any 12-year-old girl could say that. I'm seeing a couple of DJs there, like house music, techno, which I'm really excited about. Labyrinth, this musician who did the music for Euphoria. I don't really have any expectations. I'm just going to go see.
I have a Justin Bieber Toronto Blue Jays jersey if you want to borrow it when Bieber plays.
Okay.
It's pretty cool.
He's from Toronto? I know he's from Canada. I didn't know he's from Toronto.
He has some Winnipeg roots, but Toronto, outside of Toronto. Yeah, he's Canadian.
Nice. Speaking of Canadians, Justin Trudeau was there with Katy Perry.
Did you know who Justin Trudeau was before he started dating Katy Perry?
Yeah. A little bit.
How about his father?
I do not know who his father is. Who's his father?
His father's not alive anymore. It's Pierre Elliott Trudeau. And there was Trudeau mania back in the 60s when he was the Prime Minister of Canada.
Okay. Good. Cool guy. Did you like him?
I wasn't around, but my mom danced with him.
Oh.
Yeah.
Nice.
She always told me she had a dance with Trudeau.
Yeah.
And then some other woman pulled him apart, pulled him away from her.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's just I think that's a metaphor for, the world.
Yeah.
People pulling people apart and away from each other for their own interests.
Yeah. I could see that. I'd pull a world leader if I could dance with him.
Well, maybe you'll run into Justin Trudeau.
I think he'll be very mesmerized with Katy Perry next to him. She's been to space.
She has.
Yeah.
He's a lot of Canadians would say Justin Trudeau is also kind of in outer space. He's out to lunch.
Well, he was photographed sitting on the ground with her. I think they were eating like hot dogs or something. Very down to earth.
What about his family?
I don't know anything about his family. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, he's had quite a life. So maybe, I'm just getting really depressed.
You need to go to a concert ASAP.
I don't have time. I'm working too hard.
I'm sure you could spare a Saturday or a Sunday.
I have a writ to file.
Okay. Well, when the writ is finished, you should go to a concert.
Yeah, maybe I should. How much time do we have left? I'm kind of falling asleep here. That 7 minutes? Wow. This is really a test in doing what I don't want to do. And no one does that
you gotta
anymore.
Practice what you preach.
Well, I'm doing it. I'm here. I could walk out. I haven't done that. I could just take off my headphones and walk out. I'm going to do that for a minute and I'm taking off my headphones. It's all you.
Okay. Welcome to a more optimistic Gurvey's Law. You know what? Let me look at my notes to see what we could discuss. I was very sad Timothée Chalamet didn't win an Oscar. I love him. I was very happy Michael B. Jordan won it, though. I do think Timothy is owed one, so hopefully we'll see him get that in Dune 3. The Dune series was very amazing. If you guys haven't read the books, I recommend reading the books. You get so much more if you love the series. Usually I hate when books are turned into movies, but they did a really good job.
I'm back. It sounds like you're talking to yourself.
Yeah, I am talking to myself. But I like myself, so I can talk to myself all day.
Really?
Yes, absolutely.
It's amazing.
Do you?
Do I like...
Do you have an inner monologue? Because apparently a lot of people don't have an inner monologue.
I'm too busy for that.
Okay.
I have too much going on.
Sounds like you need to unbusy yourself.
Unbusy? What does that mean?
Oh, give yourself some free time to like meditate, to go grounding, to go to concerts.
Grounding?
Yeah. Do you know what grounding is?
Educate me.
It's basically when you spend time on the ground outside, and it's supposed to center you.
Sounds like a waste of time to me.
You are not. You're not into like the whole hippie bohemian kind of lifestyle, are you? Whatsoever. Well, you went to Brown. I thought people from Brown like were a bit more liberal.
Well, I didn't fit in.
Mm.
I mean, it has nothing to do with being liberal or not, but the easygoing, and it is a fallacy to think that, people at Brown are, really kind of laid back and chill and everything. But there's some really hard, intensity is important. You don't get through a school like that with difficult teachers. I remember one of the classes I had with a professor named Professor Edward Beiser. I think that was his, not Beiser, something. The first time it was law and medicine, I think it was. And I went in there and I was kind of like this, just sitting there and kind of disinterested, and like I am today, I'm really bored with this show. And I was bored with the class, and he said, "Mr. Gurvey, what did it say on page 93 of Law and Medicine textbook?" I said, "I don't know." And he said, "Well, please leave. If you're not prepared to be in this class, I don't want you in this class. And if you're not prepared to answer my questions, I don't want to see your face."
Whoa.
Now, I would love that to happen to my kids and to the world today, because then you'd realize that this hippie lifestyle and laissez-faire, do what I want, don't do things I don't want to do, it's hard in the world to get by that way.
Have you heard the fable of the Mexican fisherman?
I know nothing about fishermen.
Well, apparently there's this Mexican fisherman who's fishing, and some American comes to visit, and he sees how well he fishes. And I guess the fisherman only fishes enough to feed his family. Then he goes home, spends time with his family, feeds them, gets up and does it again. And the American tells him, "Hey, you're pretty good at this. I can help you expand this. We can, ship this out back to America, get you a lot of money." And the fisherman was like, "Why?" And he was like, "Well, you'd make a lot of money. You could do X, Y, and Z, move." And he's like, "Yeah, but why would I do that?" And he's like, "Well, you could provide for your family and spend time with them." He already does that. So there's no need. There's no need at all to expand and go the American route.
That story is really fishy to me, and I'll tell you why. Because, maybe he could go to Coachella with his family. Maybe he can go to Canada.
He could probably sneak his way into Coachella.
Canada.
I've snuck into Coachella.
You can't sneak into Canada.
No, you cannot.
The immigration is pretty tough there. The at the border, at the customs. But I will tell you something, that if you just want to, it's nice to be with your family, and I agree, but at the same time, it's also nice to provide for your family. It's nice to share things. My kids missed school because that was the decision that we made to go to Hawaii, because it occurred after spring break, and I don't regret that at all. They may fail out, but at least they had a good time.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's what it's about.
But it doesn't really help them get motivated to do the things they don't want to do. And I did something that I was not sure I should have. Hudson asked to stay an extra day. He said he could miss school. Harper said she wanted to get back to school. I didn't know what to do as a parent to let him stay another day because I was staying an extra day. And I finally gave in and I let him do it. And I don't know if that's the right decision or not. I mean, I would love to ask James Sexton that, who is a divorce attorney who knows everything about relationships and kids in families. So hopefully if he wouldn't have...
I think a good way to go about it is to spoil them rotten and then cut them off when they're like after college and say, you got to figure it out. You like the life I provided to you, you have to provide that to yourself.
Well, I think that you just said that. I want to cut you off.
Wow. Are we, how much time? Literally cut me off?
Literally cut you off. We are ending this show.
Okay.
Going down in history is probably the worst Gurvey's Law show ever on air.
Wow. Okay. Well, till next time.
You don't have anything positive to end with?
No, you totally dampened my mood.
I've accomplished my goals. If you're still alive, thanks for listening to our show. What's it called?
Gurvey's Law.
Whatever can go wrong will go wrong. See you next week.